It's happening. We are on the verge of witnessing the single most anticipated event of the year. And honestly, no one is truly ready for it. The moon is about to blaze in a deep crimson red. This is more than just a full moon. And it's certainly not just another eclipse. This is a total lunar eclipse, a true blood moon. It's the kind of celestial event that has been feared, celebrated, and spoken about in hushed tones for centuries. And this isn't some far-off event in the distant future. It's happening very soon, and it might just prove to be the most significant day of 2025. And here's the most important part. You don't get to be a bystander. None of us do. The blood moon doesn't pause and wait for you to feel prepared. It pulls you right into its powerful orbit. For thousands of years, whenever the moon turned a blood-red color, people believed something profound was taking place. Countless beliefs and stories surrounded it. But no matter the specific tale, they all shared one common thread. A blood moon was never just an ordinary night. It was a warning, a monumental shift, a clear signal from the universe to pay attention. And here's what makes this time different. You're not just waiting for September 7th. You are already standing within its powerful influence. The days leading up to this blood moon can feel like you're living inside a pressure cooker. Little things seem to hit harder. Emotions are on a hair trigger. Even the quiet moments feel heavy with unspoken energy. It feels as if the universe is giving you a good shake, loosening up anything and everything that isn't strong enough to pass through this eclipse with you. But you must pay attention, because you absolutely need to be prepared for the moment it arrives. The blood moon isn't just here for you to gaze at and wonder. It's here to expose. When the shadow of the earth completely engulfs the moon, turning it that haunting shade of red, it's like the universe is holding a giant magnifying glass up to your life and daring you to take a long, hard look at what's really there. This isn't just about appreciating a beautiful sight in the sky. It's about finally seeing the cracks in the path you're on, feeling the weight of relationships that no longer serve you, and recognizing the hidden patterns that have been silently holding you back. And once the blood moon shows you these truths, there is no going back to ignorance. You can't unsee it. This is precisely why ancient cultures both deeply revered and greatly feared this night. It has a way of bringing revelations that can change absolutely everything. Think of it like a powerful awakening. It's not the gentle kind you might stumble into once, but the jarring kind that shakes you awake again, right when you've started to drift back into complacency. The blood moon doesn't just shine a light. It burns right through your illusions. Some people will inevitably try to ignore what it reveals to them. They'll act as though they didn't see the truth staring them right in the face. But if you're listening to this, you are not one of those people. You are going to feel the shift. You will see what you are meant to see. And you will know with crystal clarity what must be left behind. But that's only one part of the story, because while you're having your own personal awakening, the collective energy of the world is about to erupt with something much louder and much heavier. The blood moon doesn't just affect individuals, it shakes the entire collective consciousness. And when that happens, the very air around you can feel thick with tension. You'll start to see it everywhere you look. People getting angry over trivial matters, moods swinging back and forth like a pendulum, strangers lashing out, and simple conversations escalating into heated confrontations. Try not to take it personally. It's energetic. When this kind of intense eclipse energy floods our planet, it's like the pressure builds up inside every single person until it has to be released. The blood moon doesn't just put individuals to the test, it tests the whole of society. Small annoyances will feel explosive. Hidden frustrations will suddenly burst to the surface, and you'll witness people around you behaving in ways that don't even seem like them. This is the reason why, throughout history, blood moons have been linked to periods of unrest, chaos, and major disruption. It wasn't just superstition, it was observation. People could feel the shift in the energy, even if they didn't have the words to describe it. And now, you are going to see it happen all over again. It's crucial to understand that the chaos you witness isn't just random. The eclipse is stirring the pot, shaking up the collective field, and forcing out all the instability that cannot survive in the new energy that comes next. That's why you cannot take these moments personally. When someone lashes out at you, it isn't really about you. It's about the immense pressure they are feeling inside that they simply can't contain. And this leads to a deeper question. If the collective is this unstable now, what will happen when the Earth's shadow fully blankets the moon? That is when things become truly unpredictable. For most people, the blood moon is a spectacle, something cool to look at, and maybe snap a photo of. But for the energetically sensitive souls among us, the ones who can actually feel it when the frequency of the Earth shifts, it's not just a show. It's completely overwhelming. It feels like standing directly in front of a massive amplifier turned to its maximum volume, blasting energy straight into your nervous system. When the moon turns red, the collective noise around you gets louder too. The moods of other people, their stress, their sudden outbursts, the unspoken tension hanging in the air. If you are attuned to it, you'll feel it pressing in on you before you even know what's happening. This is why the most awakened individuals don't rush out to celebrate in large groups during an eclipse. They feel a deep, instinctual pull to do the exact opposite, to step back, to retreat into solitude, to disconnect from the noise of everyone else's frequency. And here's the honest truth. It's not about avoiding people. It's about protecting your own energetic field so the blood moon can do its work on you directly, without any interference. Silence isn't emptiness. In fact, silence is where the clearest and strongest signals from the universe come through. The blood moon is here to recalibrate you, but it can only do that if you give it the space it needs. So if you suddenly feel like you don't want to talk, don't want to scroll through your phone, and don't want to be around anyone at all, that's not you being antisocial. That is alignment. That is the eclipse calling you into solitude so you can hear what others can't. The message comes through clearest when you step away from the crowd. And when you do that, something else becomes possible. Something the blood moon hides within its shadow, waiting for those who are brave enough to claim it. The blood moon isn't just visually dramatic. It's a rare energetic window where the usual rules of manifestation seem to bend in ways that just don't happen under normal skies. When the shadow completely swallows the moon, the ordinary balance between light and dark temporarily collapses. The usual rhythm of reflection and release gets interrupted. And in that powerful disruption, there is immense power. This is the moment when your intentions don't just echo out into the universe. They strike like a blacksmith's hammer on molten iron, shaping your future in real time. But let's be clear about this. This energy is not soft. It is not forgiving. And it is not for the hesitant, quietly wishing, gently hoping something might come true, or timidly asking for what you want. Those timid energies won't survive the sheer weight of this eclipse. The blood moon is forged in shadow and fire, and it demands the same from you. Boldness, certainty, and unwavering conviction. Anything less will be swallowed up by the red glow and left behind. This is why manifestations that are born on a blood moon feel so much heavier and more permanent than those from ordinary new or full moons. They don't just float into the universe like whispers on the wind. They root themselves deep into the unseen world, binding themselves into the very soil of your reality. Think of it less like making a simple wish and more like signing a binding contract. The words you speak and the visions you claim become sealed into the energy of the eclipse itself, pressed down by the weight of the shadow. And once they are sealed, they are incredibly difficult to undo. That's why you must choose what you ask for with extreme care. This is not a night for half-baked ideas or casual desires. It is a night to declare the one thing you would risk everything for, the one thing you would refuse to let go of, no matter the cost. Because that is what the blood moon respects. It doesn't reward convenience. It rewards courage. You'll feel it as the eclipse deepens, as the moon bleeds red across the sky. You may feel your body vibrating with a restless energy, as if it already knows you're being asked to make a monumental decision. Your chest might tighten. Your thoughts might race. Your palms might begin to tingle. That isn't anxiety. That's energy pooling inside of you, waiting for direction, waiting for you to say, "This is mine. This is what I choose." The universe always bends to those who refuse to doubt. And this blood moon is the ultimate proof. It's a rare cosmic stage where your words don't just drift away. They are carved into the shadow, etched into the night sky, and carried forward with a force that will linger long after the light returns. So ask yourself this: when the moon is drenched in red and a profound silence hangs over the earth, what truth are you bold enough to seal into your reality? Because hesitation will leave you with nothing, but conviction will leave a mark the universe can never erase. The blood moon doesn't wait politely for you to get your life in order. It kicks the door wide open and drags whatever has been festering in the shadows directly into the light. And here's the reality. You do not want to be caught off guard when that happens. If you don't clear out the old energy yourself, the eclipse will do it for you. Right now, in these final hours before the moon turns red, you need to look around your life with brutally honest eyes. What arguments are still hanging in the air, unspoken but poisoning the space between you and someone else? What difficult conversations have you been avoiding because you'd rather let them rot than face them and find a resolution? The blood moon will not let you continue carrying that baggage. Either you settle it on your own terms, or it will come crashing out in the most chaotic way imaginable. It's not just about people either. It's about the objects that carry a heavy energy. That old box tucked away under your bed, filled with letters or memories that make your stomach churn every time you think about them. Why are you still allowing it to take up space in your life? That one text message thread you keep rereading, even though it only serves to keep you chained to the past. Why are you still keeping it alive? These aren't just things, they are energetic hooks. And the blood moon pulls on those hooks until they tear themselves free. Think of it like this: if your energy field is already cluttered and full, the eclipse doesn't magically give you more room. It smashes right through, tossing the mess everywhere, until you are forced to deal with it all at once. That's why tonight isn't about gentle reflection or vague intentions of letting go. It's about taking decisive action. You clear it out now, on your terms, or the blood moon will clear it out for you, on its terms. And its way is always, always messier. This is the purge phase. It's ruthless, it's urgent, and it is not optional. The blood moon removes what you refuse to release. If you want to step into the powerful opportunities this eclipse has to offer, you cannot drag the dead weight of the past along with you. So take a hard look at your life, strip out everything that doesn't belong, and do it quickly. Because once that shadow falls, hesitation will cost you more than you can possibly imagine. The blood moon doesn't whisper, it dares. It dares you to finally step across that line you've been staring at for months, maybe even for years. And under its crimson glow, something inside you shifts. The hesitation that has been weighing you down like an anchor suddenly burns away. And before you even have a chance to second-guess it, you've said the words. You've taken the step. You've made the leap. The blood moon doesn't ask for your permission. It hands you a torch of fire and waits to see if you have the courage to hold it. Throughout history, eclipses have been moments when ordinary people made extraordinary choices, not because they had it all planned out, but because something inside of them suddenly snapped awake. There are countless stories of people walking away from jobs that were suffocating their souls, as if the lunar shadow itself gave them the courage they couldn't find in the light of day. Lovers have confessed hidden feelings under that red light, turning their entire lives upside down with a single trembling sentence. And others have finally ended relationships that were long past their expiration date, their silence broken not by logic or reason, but by the undeniable, intense pressure of this night. It's a pattern that repeats itself time and time again because the energy is just that undeniable. The blood moon acts like a cosmic push. The fears that used to stop you in your tracks, fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of embarrassment, suddenly seem ridiculously small and insignificant. Under the blood moon, fear becomes irrelevant, and only the raw truth survives. This is why so many people describe waking up the morning after an eclipse and realizing they finally did the one thing they've been circling around for years. And while that might be shocking to them in the moment, it never feels wrong. Because the blood moon strips away all hesitation and leaves you with only what is real. So tonight, don't be surprised if you feel that sudden, powerful rush. The urge to say something you've been holding back. The impulse to finally send the message you've typed out and deleted 100 times. The bravery to set something in motion that will change everything. This is what the blood moon does. It cracks you open and dares you to act. The only question is, will you take the dare, or will you let this powerful moment pass you by? Because one thing about this eclipse is absolutely certain. These moments don't come around twice. This total lunar eclipse is not a gentle event. It rips masks straight off of people's faces and throws them to the ground. Under its revealing red glow, the act just can't be maintained any longer. The carefully rehearsed smile, the polite silence when you disagree, the fake agreement to keep the peace, all of it slips away. The blood moon reveals not who people want to be, but who they truly are at their core. You'll start to notice it in the smallest things at first. Someone who usually hides their irritation suddenly can't stop snapping. A person who always downplays their own feelings lets something slip in conversation that changes your entire perception of them. Jokes that are delivered with a little too much bite. Confessions that come tumbling out after being bottled up for years. It's the eclipse pulling the truth through their teeth, whether they want it to or not. And it won't just be happening to other people. Take a look in the mirror. You might catch yourself saying something you never thought you'd admit, even to yourself. This is why so many people throughout history have feared blood moons. Not because of the strange light in the sky, but because of what that light does to us down here on Earth. It burns away the pretense. It strips away all of our comfortable illusions. And suddenly, the world looks raw, real, and completely unfiltered. That friend you thought you could always rely on might suddenly show their true colors. That person you underestimated might reveal a surprising depth you never saw before. That partner you thought you knew inside and out might say the one thing you were never prepared to hear. The unmasking doesn't always bring comfort. Sometimes it brings pain. But the pain is honest, and honesty is power. Lies and deceptions simply collapse under the immense weight of the blood moon. That's why you'll feel shifts happening in your relationships, both subtle and dramatic. Some bonds will break, not because they suddenly stopped mattering, but because they were never as real as you were led to believe. Other bonds will grow infinitely stronger because now, for the very first time, everything is out in the open. So pay close attention during this eclipse. Listen carefully, not just to what people are saying, but to what slips out when they stop carefully controlling their script. Watch their eyes, their tone of voice, their choices. The blood moon makes it impossible for anyone to hide for long. And while it may shake up your world, it will also give you something far more valuable than comfort. It will give you clarity. The blood moon doesn't just touch the sky, it shakes the human heart. Think of it like a fault line that runs deep inside of you, one that has been quietly holding and building up pressure for years. When the energy of the eclipse hits, that fault line doesn't just tremble, it cracks wide open. And what comes spilling out are all the emotions you didn't even realize you were still carrying. The blood moon turns your heart into an earthquake zone. Everything that has been hidden comes rumbling to the surface. You might feel it as tears that seem to come from nowhere, not tied to any specific memory, but almost as if your body is performing that deep spiritual cleansing. For others, it might come as sudden, uncontrollable laughter, bursts of pure joy that erupt in the middle of a quiet moment. Some will feel a powerful surge of anger, frustration, or even deep heartbreak. It's not random. It's the eclipse jolting your emotional body awake. In the same way the earth shudders during an earthquake, your chest, your heart chakra, vibrates with all the pressure it has been holding onto. What makes this moment so incredibly intense is that it completely bypasses logic. You won't be able to explain why you suddenly feel overwhelmed with love for someone you haven't thought about in years, or why a song you've heard 100 times before suddenly brings you to tears, or why you can't shake the powerful feeling that something is changing right now in the deepest part of your being. That's because this isn't about your mind. It's about the raw, untamed core of who you are being shaken awake. And here's the secret. The blood moon doesn't cause these feelings. It simply reveals them. The earthquake doesn't create the pressure. It only exposes what was already buried deep beneath the surface. If you've been hiding your love for someone, you may suddenly feel an unstoppable need to express it. If you've been carrying silent grief, it might surge up in powerful waves. If you've been sitting on simmering anger, you might finally feel the need to let it out. This is why so many people describe blood moons as being emotionally overwhelming. It's because the heart can't keep its secrets during an earthquake. But don't mistake this intense release for punishment. When the heart breaks open, it's not destruction, it's expansion. That's the deeper power of a spiritual heartquake. Every tear, every laugh, every raw outburst is a sign that your emotional body is being reset. You're making space. You're shaking off the old layers that no longer fit so that something more authentic can rise up in their place. So if this eclipse leaves you crying without reason, laughing a little too hard, or suddenly saying things you never planned to say, don't try to suppress it. Feel it. Because the blood moon isn't trying to break you. It's trying to show you just how powerful you are when your heart is finally allowed to beat without any restraints. The closer we get to the blood moon, the more amplified everything becomes. Energy doesn't just circulate, it collides. It multiplies. It spills over into every single one of your interactions. And if you're a sensitive person, if you're the type who already feels the weight of other people's moods, then this is the moment when setting boundaries is no longer optional. It becomes an act of survival. When the moon bleeds red across the sky, every energy becomes louder. You must protect your space, or their chaos will inevitably become your storm. Think about the people in your life. Some of them uplift you, fuel you, and make you feel lighter. But there are others, the ones who always leave you feeling drained, anxious, or second-guessing yourself. During an eclipse like this, those drains on your energy don't just nibble at you. They pull at you like a powerful tidal current. That's why arguments can spark out of thin air, why little comments can suddenly cut you deep, why you can feel completely exhausted after just a 5-minute conversation. The blood moon isn't just magnifying your emotions, it's magnifying theirs too. And if you're not careful, you'll end up carrying a weight that isn't even yours to bear. So what do? You draw the line. You don't have to announce it. You don't have to explain it. You simply have to enforce it. If a certain person's presence feels heavy and draining, limit your time with them. If social gatherings feel too chaotic and overwhelming, give yourself permission to step away. If you feel the urge to unplug from group chats, endless scrolling, and constant notifications, honor that instinct. It's not isolation, it's preservation. Because these days are not about merging with the noise of the world. They are about tuning into your own unique frequency. The blood moon creates an environment where every single influence gets multiplied. If you surround yourself with people who radiate chaos, you will absorb that chaos. If you surround yourself with clarity, you will feel clearer. That's why it is not selfish to say no, to close your door, or to guard your peace. It's alignment. Protecting your energy isn't about rejecting the world. It's about choosing the kind of world you want to live in. And here's the absolute truth. If you don't set your own boundaries, the eclipse will set them for you, and it will not be gentle about it. People may exit your life suddenly. Conflicts may erupt without warning. Relationships could break under the intense pressure. That's why these days leading up to the eclipse are so critical. You have the chance to decide what stays and what goes. You can choose to release the energy drains quietly and on your own terms, instead of waiting for the blood moon to rip them out dramatically. So if you find yourself craving more solitude or noticing that certain people suddenly feel way too loud, listen to that feeling. Your soul is telling you what you need to protect. Because when the eclipse reaches its peak, Your energy is going to be like a magnet, drawing in whatever surrounds you. Guard it now, and the blood moon will amplify your strength. Leave it open, and it will amplify someone else's chaos. This is why your boundaries matter now more than ever. They aren't walls. They are shields. They are what will allow you to stand in the middle of this cosmic turbulence and still feel steady. And when the sky turns red, steadiness is the rarest and most powerful gift you can possess. There are nights that pass by just like every other night. And then there are the nights that stamp themselves onto your life so deeply that you can never forget them. The Blood Moon Eclipse of 2025 is not just another lunar event. It is that stamp. It is the scar in the sky that demands you leave your own scar on history. This isn't about waiting for the right moment to come along. This is the right moment. The sky itself is giving you a one-time permission slip, daring you to do the very thing you've been holding back from. The leap you've been circling around. The choice you've been too afraid to make. And years from now, when you look back on your life, this will be the night you remember as the pivot point. The night that everything shifted. Think about it. Every single cycle of your life has been building toward this crescendo. Every hesitation, every excuse, every delay you've wrapped around yourself like a protective blanket. It all gets ripped open under this red glow. The blood moon doesn't just light up the sky. It illuminates the massive gap between who you are right now and who you were truly meant to be. And inside that gap is a razor's edge choice. Will you rise up to meet it, or will you shrink back into silence? Because here is the brutal, honest truth. The blood moon does not wait. It demands. This isn't about being perfect. You don't need a detailed, step-by-step plan. You don't need to know every twist and turn on the path ahead. All you need is one single act that is bold enough, raw enough, and undeniable enough to mark this night forever. For some of you, that means finally breaking a cycle you've been chained to for years. Walking away from what you know in your heart is poison. Finally slamming the door shut on what's been draining you of your life force. For others, it's daring to speak the words you've bitten back until your tongue bled. Confessions, truths, desires that terrify you, but simply refuse to stay buried any longer. And for the rare few, this is the night to set an intention so audacious, so unshakable, that it scares even you. Not a wish. A declaration. A contract signed in the glow of the blood moon that can never be undone. Because here's what makes this night unlike any other. Moments like this do not repeat. Yes, there will be other moons. Yes, there will be other eclipses. But none of them will carry this exact shadow, this particular red fire, this once-in-a-lifetime alignment. The universe is not handing out endless chances. A blood moon isn't a reminder, it's a deadline. And deadlines have a way of carving clarity out of hesitation. Deadlines leave no room for maybe later. So I dare you, don't let the sky do all the bleeding. Make your own mark. Burn the old letter, break the chain, shatter the mask. Throw out the object that has kept you anchored to a past where you no longer belong. Write down the most outrageous dream you can imagine and claim it as if it's already yours. Or stand beneath the blood-red sky and shout your truth into the night until your voice shakes. This isn't about ritual. It's about impact. It's about doing something so unshakably bold that your future self will never be able to deny that this was the night it all began. Your soul will remember it. Your spirit will echo it. And when you look back, you will know that you didn't just watch the eclipse. You answered it. So ask yourself, if you could only do one thing tonight that changes everything, what would it be? Because when the shadow finally lifts and the sky pretends to return to normal, the truth is that nothing will ever be the same. The only question is, will you be the same, or will you be someone who left the blood moon unanswered? This is your one shot. Claim it. Seal it. Burn it into the very fabric of your reality. Because the moon will bleed whether you act or not. But only those who dare to bleed with it will be remembered by the night. If you are still watching, I want to thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed this content, and want to see more like it, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is very much appreciated. Feel free to share any of your own experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.